welcome to Moon Mage. If you're new here, these are weekly tarot messages. They come out every week, but I always tell everybody not to worry about the dates that they come with, because whenever you land on them is when you are meant to receive these messages. These are not long and drawn out messages. They are quick snapshots of the potential energy, challenges, along with some guidance and advice around these things so that you can hopefully navigate your week ahead in the best possible way. That is the intention. I always tell everybody to give themselves a second to feel into messages 1 through 4 to see which one is speaking to them, and those will be your messages for the week. I just want to quickly say this video will not be the best quality. A lot of things that I just received have broke, one being my microphone, and not only that, there's a lot going on in my home, so there's been a lot of background noise, so I do apologize in advance if these videos are not the best as far as sound quality and things goes. I'm working on it. So again, give yourself a second to feel into messages 1 through 4, and I will get started here with message number 1. Hello, message 1. Let's see, what do my message 1s need to know this week? What's showing up for my beautiful message 1 choosers? Nothing's flying out. Retreat. Never underestimate the healing power of a quiet moment. Okay. So kind of being called to pause this week. It's not going to be a lot of action or necessarily productivity for you this week that you're being asked of. Of course, you always have the freedom to choose how you're going to handle the energy coming in at you every week. But this is the message from the universe, essentially saying it's better to retreat backwards, ebb in, do some contemplation, reflection, meditation, rather than strive or push forward with anything. And it says, never underestimate the healing power of a quiet moment, which always makes me feel like you might receive wisdom and guidance and answers that you weren't expecting if you give yourself pause. Let's see what else is going to come out with that. All right, there we go. We've got DNA and karma coming out as the next major energy showing up for you guys. Message 1s this week. Reflection. Winter solstice energy. And this is coming out in the challenge position, suggesting it's been difficult for you to find time to step back, contemplate, and reflect, which is what we talked about here in the retreat card. The overall energy showing up. Okay, so being a challenge for you. All right. And then we've got, interesting, because we've got winter solstice and then we've got summer solstice, right? This is what comes after taking the time to pause and retreat. Feeling radiant, feeling vibrant, feeling ready to be seen, to do, to create. Sun energy is productive, it's active, it's energizing. So it's like this, taking this time to reflect, stop, pause, leads to this more sunny, empowered, powerful, ready to go energy. I also think there's an element of let yourself be seen after you take this time to step back for a little while. And we're going to talk about the DNA karma. I just want to see where we're going with the rest of the cards first. Okay. Whale and breach, which is all about breaching our comfort zones, moving away from things that are really known and comfortable to us, and moving towards things that are exciting, but maybe evoke a little bit of fear, breaching that, doing something different, right? I'm being reminded right now of the energy of the Albert Einstein quote of, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result is craziness. It's like that. It's like that. That's the big ask. And this is what you will likely be led to by giving yourself time to stop, pause, reflect, retreat. Now, what I like about this DNA karma card, it trips a lot of people up. I've had conversations with others who do tarot and they've talked about this card. It's really not as complicated as it might seem. It's all about healing for you, but it's healing things in your family line, in your bloodline, that you are also carrying, things that likely stop you from doing what you would really love to do. It could be any kind of karmic energy that's not for the best and highest good of those in the family line, where we're passing things on unknowingly, like the idea of a lack mentality, or fear around love and relationships, or financial security, which would be lack mentality. It's like that. And if this is showing up for you, it's likely that you may be the person who elected to come in and say, I'm going to start to break this karmic cycle from the family bloodline. You are carrying it very likely and probably have patterns around it. And maybe you're starting to shift those and look at things differently, which sounds really deep. But it's really important, because you can be the one to start to break these, curses or negative patterns that are just no longer serving the bloodline. Maybe they did at one time in a past life when food was scarce and money was hard to come by. But we're in a better position now than we've ever been as humans when it comes to creating and being authentic and doing what we would really love to do. And this DNA karma card shows up for those of us who are here to shift things, to be change makers for our family. And it's not this big, crazy, powerful, profound thing that you have to do to make it happen. It's as simple as choosing differently than what the rest of the family has been doing. Like, if the family has been playing it safe and doing the normal societal things that are considered normal, you might come along and say, you know what, no more. And I suspect that this is showing up for you. You're already feeling these stirrings and promptings to do it differently. You might be a little stuck right now. Maybe you're even tempted to retreat back into the energy of these patterns that are not authentic to you, but very much inherent to your bloodline and your patterns and the way that you were raised and all those kinds of things. If that's the case, all the more reason to take the advice of stopping, pausing, taking a time out to really reflect on who you are, what you want, what you know is right for you, and disregarding what maybe family members have said. Or, it's like when families say money doesn't grow on trees, or money's hard to come by, or it's the root of all evil, or you have to pick a job that makes sense, that has good benefits, very practical, rather than, dreamy and authentic and exciting, which we absolutely are all capable of having and creating for ourselves, but we fear it. We fear it because it involves risk, right? Risk of being seen differently, risk of maybe being ostracized by our family members, and just general risk of maybe taking financial risks, or a leap into the unknown where there isn't as much of a safety net as what we've been told we should be looking for. So I say all that to say that your big message here for my Group 1 choosers is, it's by taking the time to stop and pause and really consider what it is you want and the patterns that you're dealing with, that you're being asked to heal out. Powerful healing can happen in these quiet moments. It will lead you to this beautiful energy of radiance, being seen, following your soul's urges and promptings and inner desires. You breach that comfort zone, you breach that pattern, and you're the game changer in the family line. They're like, oh, John and Jessica are doing it completely different than the rest of everybody else in this family, and they're not in lack, and they're following their dreams, and they did make it happen. It's like that. Or they went for love and they put their heart on the sleeve, and they were vulnerable, and now they're super happy in their relationships. This is like what this feels like for me. It seems so simple when you put the cards out like this, but it's actually much deeper than that. All the more reason to give yourself over to retreat, contemplation, reflection. Really consider where your thoughts and feelings are coming from, especially if they're negative, or they're telling you that you shouldn't do something that deep down inside you really want to do. It's likely a pattern that you've inherited, and you're here to break that pattern. And this is the week to stop, pause, reflect, so you can really get clear with yourself, understand these patterns, and breach them. Be the light. Do it differently. Be the game changer, the one to break these karmic cycles. I'm just going to pull one more card here. That's actually quite deep for a weekly message, but it's definitely what I'm feeling for my Group 1s. Like, you are likely more of a rebellious game changer than you know. It might even be that you seem the complete opposite of that to most people, but your internal world tells you, no, this is who I really am, and I'm ready to breach that. I'm ready to show up differently, but it's scary. I also think there's just a simple message, too, of not making any hasty decisions this week. really taking your time with it, because it will lead to better things where you see that light, where you know what to do, where creativity is flowing and you breach your comfort zone and your whatever your problems may be, you overcome them. Look at this. You will manifest what you need. Yeah, maybe there's some fear here around money. Express gratitude as if your plans have already come to pass. Trust that your angels are bringing you the assistance you need. Yeah. Don't give up on something. Don't quit on a dream. Don't ebb back. Don't retreat into patterns. You're doing the hard work. I feel message one. There's a little bit more to go here. There's a little ways to go. And the answer isn't to push or try to make anything happen this week. The answers will come, the wisdom that you need, the understanding that you need is all going to show up for you. So give yourself this break and this time to reflect, because you're being helped. As it says, you will manifest what you need. I really do feel that, especially when you've got this radiance card and this breaching of comfort zone and problems here. All right, I am going to leave that there. I hope that you all have an amazing week. Take care, guys. Hello, message two. What do I do for message twos? Need to know going into this week. What's showing up for message twos? Okay, we've got a card. We've got two cards. Okay, maybe there's going to be two messages that show up. Self-care, tend to your garden. And then serenity, value quiet days with only the rustling leaves breaking the silence. Ooh, this is a strong message. So far, the first message was also about retreat. So these go really well together. I'm going to show them in the camera so you guys can see them and read them for yourselves. Self-care, tend to your garden, and then serenity, value quiet days with only the rustling leaves breaking the silence. Pretty self-explanatory. It's time to take a time out. It's time to make you and your well-being a priority, because I feel like in doing so, when spirit shows up with these kinds of messages, it's usually because they have so much to say, so much to share, so much wisdom to impart, and intuition to open up for the choosers. And the only way to get to it is giving ourselves a bit of a time out and going quiet, right? Which is serenity, finding peace, doing some meditation this week, going for walks, doing whatever makes you feel like your best self, whether it's, hot showers, the gym, your favorite programs. But I do think there's definitely a message here to pause and go into quiet and solitude. For some, that isn't meditation because their brains are too loud. I completely understand that. But for others, it could just be going for a walk and clearing your mind. I do feel like there's a bigger purpose with this, with these energies showing up, with self-care and serenity. Um, and I do tend to always have that vibe, that because spirit wants to show you something, tell you something, bring you the answer to something. But it's both here, right? Because the serenity card says value quiet time, and the self-care is just self-care. It's just that you need to take care of you so that you're at your best. And if you're not giving yourself time for that, you could burn out at both ends, right? Okay, we've got cards falling out like crazy for message too. So really take that into consideration if you feel, if you're somebody who's normally a go, go, go person, consider the long-term effects of what that could look like for you, right? Like maybe you end up getting yourself a cold or something to that effect. Oh, there goes my heater. It's loud. I apologize, guys. I have a bunch of equipment that broke on me this week, one being my microphone. So now it's my cameras are gonna, my video is gonna pick up all the background noise, unfortunately. But I have to wait for a new microphone to come in. Submerged. Okay. This is kind of what I was talking about, right? When we're asked to take time out and serenity, valuing quiet time. I feel like it's because there's information that you don't have. It's been submerged. You can't see it. It's been beneath the surface. And the only way to get to it is to take a time out and get quiet. Because I really do think Spirit has wisdom they want to send your way. They have something to help you understand an idea or a concept, or just information in general. Like, I just keep coming back to information. There's information you don't have, you need it. Spirit wants to send it to you, but it can't get to you because there's not enough quiet moments for them to get it to you. And also, when we're not feeling our best and when we are burnt out, we're not as receptive to higher mind, to wisdom, to divinity, to our own intuition. And it's like that. It's been submerged. But there's more to things than meets the eye. That's something I'm feeling too. Wow. This was the same card for message 1 as well. Winter solstice reflection. Right. Taking time out to reflect, not pushing, not making anything happen. You don't have all the information. You could burn out. It's all this kind of energy showing up for you this week. And this is like your heads up from the universe saying, you really want to go into quiet mode. You really want to take care of yourself, do all these wonderful things for you, because it's going to lead to something much better and to information that you don't have. You'll be able to see it by giving yourself over to this. But I also just, get the feeling that some of you are going to burn yourself out to the point of where you make yourself sick if you don't slow down and pause for a little while. This pushing energy is something I feel really strong here. As it says, self-care, tend to your garden. Okay. Yeah, love it. Okay, Dawn, new beginnings. This is the result, right? A new way forward, new beginnings, seeing the light, having a better understanding of where you need to go from here, right? Because it's like you go from submerged to dawn, which is like the sun breaking, coming from up above the clouds, from behind the mountains, finally seeing the light, understanding, feeling very clear, and also just better in all ways. I definitely get the strong energy that some of you are already physically feeling off and not yourselves, and it's burnout energy, pushing energy. There's a new beginning at hand for you guys, though, which I'm loving to see, and it comes after you taking this advice, the spiritual guidance of self-care and serenity, valuing quiet time. Ooh, dream time creation. Nice. Okay. So this is kind of what it's suggesting. This is what it leads to: creative thinking, creative ideas coming through, massive inspiration by taking a time out and taking really good care of yourself. You're going to get to this. Creative juice is just flowing like crazy, but I'm also just feeling really compelled to tell you guys to pay attention to your dreams. Keep a book by the bed table or on the bedside table and record whatever comes to you in dreams, because I think there's going to be something meaningful for some of you. This is general, so that might not be true for all of you, but I definitely think some of you are going to receive wisdom, guidance, and answers during your dream time. So you're not going to want to lose the dream. It's so easy once we start to wake up and move about our day. Keep a journal beside the bed, a notepad, so that you can write down whatever it is you receive, because there's going to be guidance there for you guys. Yes, I absolutely think so. Yeah, and I was talking to a friend about tarot readings and how it feels like when I'm doing my weeklies, there's usually a theme for at least 2, 3 of the 4 readings where there's a general theme. And this one doesn't seem super sexy or exciting when we're like being told to take good care of ourselves, make sure that we're physically, mentally, and emotionally in a really good place, to take a time out to pause, to meditate. It's not super sexy to hear that, but we undervalue how important it is and what it leads to. And so far, that is what's showing up in the messages for this week so far from message 1 and 2. And I feel like that's a huge message for you guys. And I get a very strong like a hard work ethic from my group 2 choosers. You're very comfortable with doing and going and making things happen. And that is all wonderful, good qualities. But this is just as important and undervalued, I think, by my group 2 choosers. And I don't mean that in a mean kind of way, but there's so much I feel like you can be receiving as a result of giving yourself over to this, like truly giving yourself over to it, not just 5 minutes here and 5 minutes there, like a day or 2 where I'm not gonna do much of anything besides be with myself and do things that make me feel really good. And then it's like what's submerged, what you can't see, how to move forward in a situation or something of that kind shows up for you. Lots of spiritual connection, lots of wisdom coming through, lots of intuitive hits that are often missed because of the busyness. Creation, right? A new beginning, a really amazing new beginning, I might add, because it does feel like that. It feels really good to me. Okay, I am just going to cap this off with a final message for my group 2s. All right. Oh my gosh, this is a really strong message for you guys. Prioritize self-care. You do so much for others. It's time for you to experience the love you deserve and let others help you. Yes. Yes, I definitely get a strong, busy energy here for my group two choosers. You're the goers, you're the doers, you're the ones that make it happen. Showing up for everybody else and then some. It's you. It's you this week. It's your turn. It's time to make you a priority. And this is such a strong message. Serenity and valuing quiet days with only the rustling leaves breaking the silence, and then self-care, and then self-care again. Really, really time to make this a priority this week, group twos. Of course, you have the freedom to choose, but I highly, highly recommend that you do. It will only lead to good things. It's more powerful than doing anything physical for you guys this week, anything that drains you of your time and energy. All right. I'm going to leave that there. I hope that you guys all have an amazing week and really, really take care of yourselves. Take care, guys. Hello, message 3. What do my lovely message 3s need to know going into this week? What's showing up for my message 3s? Oh my goodness. I could have maybe just done one message for this week of self-care. Self-care. Tend to your garden. Making you a priority this week. Not pushing, not doing, not actively trying to force anything to happen. Making sure that you're good physically, mentally, and emotionally. This is showing up in all of the readings, and this is message 3, which is just crazy to me. It suggests that we're all just very burnt out right now and need to stop, pause, and make sure that we're good instead of worrying about everybody else. And it turns out that you, message 3, are no different than the first 2 messages. Let's pull some cards. This is crazy. And I'm shuffling the cards, I promise. Definitely a theme. And then there's a card mixed in there that shouldn't be in there. Jeez, maybe I need a little self-care this week as well. Oh my gosh, this has shown up in all the readings. Winter solstice reflection. Taking time out so that you can reflect on where you are, where you're going, what you need, what you no longer need, what's serving you, what's not serving you. And we are in winter energy, so it's the perfect time to do it. Before, igniting anything in our lives, we have to start here. We have to stop and think about where we've been, where we are, and where we want to go. And for some reason, it feels more broad to me for my group 3 choosers. We'll see what else comes out, but that's definitely an energy I'm feeling. This has been showing up in all the readings as well. Taking time to reflect before making any big decisions, that also comes to mind for my group 3s. Okay. We've got rainbow and blessings, and it is coming out in the challenge position. So it could be suggesting that you've been feeling anything but blessed. It almost get the sense that it's been really hard for you. You've been going through some hard things, and you've been struggling to see what little blessings, because it probably feels like little blessings right now, are actually around you. I absolutely recommend doing that, like going into gratitude as much as possible. It's so difficult when we're going through hardship, and I definitely think that my group 3s have been going through hardship. It's been rough. It's been tough. All the more reason to step back into the self-care energy that's showing up for you this week, and reflecting before making any big decisions, because then you will get into the energy of blessings to receive them. And it feels like it might be long overdue for some of my group 3 choosers. And also, I'm getting this feeling, this energy. This will be a message for some of you, not all of you, because this is general. But there's some sort of blessing in disguise. Like, you can't see it now with this hard stuff or heavy things that you've been dealing with, especially if some of you are literally have made yourself sick or are feeling sick as a result of hard things that have been happening, or maybe just have been battling illness for a long time, because that's another energy I'm feeling. it's like these are blessings in disguise, and on the other side of it is something beautiful, but it's almost like needing to go through this for one reason or another that you can't quite see yet. I do think that, just generally speaking, some of you have been struggling, and it's been hard, and it's been difficult, and nothing that resembles a blessing has been showing up for you, and there's an exhaustion behind this. All the more reason to step back into self-care and reflection. Okay. So we've got clouds and shape-shifting. This card is always speaking to how can we shape-shift ourselves, shape-shift our perspective, develop a new ideology, really, in a lot of ways. But also, like, it can be as simple as shape-shifting our appearance to help us feel more comfortable with what's uncomfortable and experiencing unknown things and saying yes to things that we normally wouldn't. Like, it seems silly, but altering your appearance can have a really good and powerful effect on being more open and receptive to something new. So I think that it's a few things here. I think it's shape-shifting yourself so that you feel better. I also think it's suggesting doing little things to shape-shift and alter your appearance or your mannerisms to make you feel more comfortable with what's uncomfortable. But also, and I think more broadly, your perspective on certain things, right? Helping to see the blessings in the hardships will help move you forward eventually. But first, you want to step back and give yourself over to self-care, healing, reflection, understanding yourself and what you're going through and what's been going on around you so that you can make healthy decisions after this. Look at that. I love that. Okay. Winter solstice and then spring equinox. So in the spring energy, rebirth, right? This is the result of taking this time out, of reflecting, of making you a priority. And I think if there's going to be a really deserving group of people, it's my group 3 choosers, because I definitely can't shake that you've been through it. The things have been really difficult, hard things, one thing after another. And I do think for some of you it's been your health. But there is a rebirth, and it's coming in the outcome position, suggesting absolutely possible for you. But start here, message 3. Start with self-care. Start with taking some time to reflect. Write down whatever you feel, good or bad. How any situations have made you feel, the frustration, the anger that you feel, maybe even at God or the universe, because you're here in these situations. For some of you that are going through some more heavy things. But for others, it's just a really good practice to understand ourselves, our mindsets, and how we might get stuck at times, which sounds kind of deep, but I think that that's necessary here for my group 3s. So if it's showing up for you, it means that opportunities will be created for you to do just this week, to take a time out, to pause, to make you a priority. And it's funny because I keep getting this distraction energy, so I don't know if maybe you've been distracting yourself so that you don't have to think about these things or make yourself a priority because maybe you're not comfortable with it. Surprisingly, a lot of humans are not comfortable making themselves a priority. That could be my group 3s or some of you. All the more reason to get comfortable with that. Because remember, on the other side of this harder energy where the universe is saying this week is the week to pause, stop, reflect, is a rebirth, a new beginning of some sort, where you're feeling better and you're ready to receive those very much deserved blessings. All right, I'm going to pull another card, our final card here for my group 3s. And I should mention too, this is generally the advice card, like a direct message from Spirit and the universe saying this is how to go about it. This is what you're going to want to do after you've done this reflecting, right? The main energies. You're going to want to take a time out to shape shift your perspective, your thoughts, your feelings. The little things too, like mannerisms and clothing choices and hair choices and all those kinds of little things will be beneficial. Pray from the heart. Prayer really can move mountains. Reach out to the divine with your heart's concerns and watch miracles unfold, right? Blessings. Like they're there. You just can't see them. Message 3. And I understand why, because I really do get lots of heavy burdens here. Prayer from the heart. Pray from the heart, right? This is a really good piece of advice, I think, for my group 3s. Prayer really can move mountains. Reach out to the divine with your heart's concerns and watch miracles unfold. And I love that because it kind of goes with what I was saying as far as like keeping a journal even and writing down all your thoughts and feelings, no matter how good or bad you think they are. Just write everything you feel and everything you're going through, and then everything that you want, how you want it to look different moving forward. You may be surprised at how cathartic this is, healing this is, and how much that shape shifts your energy into this rebirth. All right, I think I'm going to leave that there for my group 3s. I hope that you all have a fantastic week and really give yourself over to self-care. Take care, guys. Hello, message 4. What do my beautiful message 4 choosers need to know going into this week? What's showing up for them? So far, every single message has been about self-care. I do find that message 4 sometimes tends to be the most different. We shall see, though, because there's definitely a theme of self-care this week. A very, very strong one. Ooh, discover. Look at the early dewdrops before they disappear with the morning sun. Ooh, something new wants to show up for you guys. There's something to be understood, learned, discovered for you guys. But when it says something to this effect of disappear with the morning like sun, looking into the dewdrops, basically, it's sort of like it's going to be subtle, this discovery. So you're really going to have to be paying attention, very present, very grounded to make this discovery. But there is something for you to know, understand, learn information that's going to be forthcoming. This is predictable in the sense of message 4 being the most different already with just the one card. We shall see what else comes out with that before I speak too soon. I'm feeling like gathering information too. Like if you feel compelled to look at things and do some research this week, I feel like that's going to be a really good idea as well. Sorry about the background noise, guys. My microphone broke and I'm waiting on a new one to come. Ooh, look, love and compassion showing up for you. Interesting. You could be discovering a new love, an interest, a new connection, a bolstering of a connection that already exists where you learn something new about each other. I do think that because it's general, that's not going to be true for all of you. This could be like some sort of love energy that shows up for you about a thing or a prospect or an opportunity. And for others, I think it looks like love, discovering love and a new connection. But using compassion, right? Compassion in action is powerful. Okay, ancestors and generations coming in the challenge position. So if this is showing up for you and we've got discover and love and compassion, there's something within you in your ancestral line where there's this pattern that your family holds in and around something that you're dealing with or that you're having likely a hard time with. It can be a good thing, but I'm feeling like it's more because it's coming in the challenge position. It's something that is a challenge for you. That suggests there's this weird pattern that I follow where I don't do the thing, even though maybe your heart tells you to do it, but your mind says no because it's scary. And I feel like that would be definitely true about putting yourself on the line for love or new connection of some kind, or even just being vulnerable with people. There's something to that energy here for me, for my group 4s. So your challenge would be this week to try to overcome these kinds of patterns, or your default setting where you say, oh no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to be vulnerable like that. I'm not going to give that person a chance or the situation. That's scary and I don't trust it. So no, I'm going to hang back. I feel like this isn't the week to do that. It's the week to challenge these patterns and things that are in the generations from the ancestors to break patterns. But we'll see what else comes out. Nice. Okay. Waterfall and effortless. Like, it doesn't have to be difficult. That's a big message with this card. It can be as simple as a waterfall flowing, effortless, easy. And that happens when we don't allow ourselves to overthink it, when we stay really grounded and present and we just go with the flow and we say, you know what? Part of me really wants this, is really feeling this, wants to discover this new thing, this new love, this new opportunity, these new people. And the only way to make any change is to go for it, even if I'm a little bit afraid. So it's sort of like kind of trying to get into this energy of I am effortless. This is easy. I'm out of my head and in my heart, and I'm just going to go with it, go with the flow. And if it's showing up here as a piece of advice from Spirit, it's suggesting that that energy will be supportive of you leaning into it this week, but it will require you pushing against some patterns. Hopefully that makes sense, what I'm saying. Creation. There's so much overlap with these cards, creation and dream time. Yeah, so there's definitely two messages going on here, I think. What do you love? What do you want to do? What's holding you back from doing it? It's not scary to just give yourself over to research and discovering that thing, because that's not actually taking any extreme action on the thing. You're literally just giving yourself over to, I'm allowed to discover some things about this. I'm allowed to look into it. I'm allowed to research it. I'm allowed to delve into more around these things that I want to do. And it's just as much the same message if it's a person or a community or a group where there's some love to be discovered and positive connection. I feel like this creative thought helps to get into that effortlessness energy and flow, so that you flow towards these people, the situation, these opportunities. But again, I do think for some of you, there's a bit of a fear in creating what you really want, what you want to go after, so much so that you don't even want to look at it, maybe because it just feels like, well, I'm never going to do it anyway for some of you. But it starts with these simple actions. You know, give yourself over to discovery, to research, to vulnerability, leading with love and compassion for yourself. Because I definitely get the energy of desire, which I probably should have said right off the gate, out of the gate, was I feel this energy of desire stirring within my group 4s, wanting certain things, but bumping up against patterns that you're not quite sure how to deal with. And I think some of you have been working on some of these patterns, recognizing them as such. Like, do I even really believe this is true? Like, do I actually think that I can't have these things because? I think you are bumping up against some of these patterns, but there's this energy showing up for you guys this week that suggests forward momentum, flow, effortlessness, creativity. And remember, because it's dream time, keep a book by your like on the bedside table by your bed, because there might be some wisdom and guidance coming through the ancestors for you guys this week by way of your dreams. And it's so easy to lose our dreams once we start to wake up and go about our day. So make sure that you have something that you can write down what you dreamt of, what you thought, because I think your ancestors, for some of you, want to come through and give you some creative ideas and inspiration that will lead you to this energy of discovery and love and compassion and effortlessness. It feels very light, the energy showing up for my group 4s, and positive and momentum inducing. But, you know, with this being the challenge, it's sort of like there's definitely some patterns you're going to bump up against. And also, I think maybe a little bit of a closed down intuition right now, where they're trying to get your attention, they can't get through. All the more reason for you to receive this message that they could come through your dream time when you're not distracted and nothing's weighing heavily on you, and they can get through to you and show you what they want you to create or what they want you to discover or move towards. Information coming in. But I do think that the biggest message for you is the way to get to this is to allow things to feel more effortless and not so strong and hard, not so hard. Being present, not allowing yourself to go into overthinking. And I do get this element of vulnerability needed for some of you. You know, and I'm realizing too that there is a big message here coming through from ancestors in the dream world, because it says look at the early dewdrops before they disappear with the morning sun. Definitely a connection there with something coming through for you guys in dreams this week. Messaging, creative ideas, inspiration, information. And I don't know why, but I think for some of you, a way to heal a connection, again, this is general, that might only speak to one of you watching this, but there's something to that for somebody here. A way to heal a connection or to move through difficulties in love. I don't know. Something I'm just feeling. That's definitely not going to be for all of you guys, though. Angels of healing are with you. A time of healing is about to bless your life. Ooh. Accept Archangel Raphael's emerald green light while I enhance your strength. Right, okay, and I love that because I do think that this is going to happen for you guys when you're in that sleep time. But, you know, if you want to bolster it even more, give yourself over to this dreamy, creative energy and meditative energy, and I think that you'll receive activations, healings and activations as a result of giving yourself over to that. Feels like you've got some strong, higher wisdom, guidance that wants to come through. Yeah, and they're with you. Even if you don't feel them, even if you're not noticing it, they're with you right now, trying to bolster your energy. Maybe also so that you can receive some ancestral connection through your dream time. Because they've definitely got something for you to discover and learn and understand moving forward. All right, that's a lot going on there for message 4. Take what resonates and leave the rest. I'm going to leave that there. I hope that you guys all have a fantastic week. Take care, guys.